Hey folks, I'm Mike, and in this video I will teach you how to integrate data source with ToolJet. Let's get started. First of all, go on the platform, sign in or sign up accordingly, right? Now after this, you will be redirected to the dashboard that will look something like this, right? Now, okay. So on the left hand side, you can see options like app, ToolJet database, data source, right, and workspace constant. Now go on the data source, right. Now here you will see different type of data sources that you can use. Some of them are REST APIs, Postgres, Google Sheet, MongoDB, Airtable, etc. Right. Now in this video we will be using REST APIs and MongoDB. First of all, we will use REST API as a data source, then MongoDB. Right. Now click on the add button. Let's say, right, I want to add the REST API as data source. Now here you will see this configuration page, right. Now on that configuration page, in the base URL you need to put the base URL of your API. So for now, for the sake of this video, we are going to use public API, so I'm going to use the JSON placeholder API, right. Now if your API has some headers, put those. If your API has some authentication type like OAuth or bearer, you can put that also. Some SSL certificate, you can put it also, right. Now after that, you have to hit the save button to save the configuration, right. If you want, you can change the name of the of this uh, data source also, right. Now coming to the left hand panel, left hand side panel, right, you will see some an option called app. Click on it. Now here you will have an option to create an application. We'll click on it and let's name our application as ToolJet underscore REST APIs, right. Now let's create an application. Now you will see canvas and a dashboard, something like this. Now first of all, let's connect to our data source, right. So for that, you need to click on the add button, scroll a little bit. Now here are the data sources, so you can see REST API, right. So let's just add it. Now we have added the REST API. Let me just make it big. Now here you have some of the configuration that you are supposed to do. First of all, the endpoint, right, because this is the base URL, so you need an endpoint. Let's say we are going to fetch the data of users, so users is our endpoint. Header, if you want to put some header, right, or you can okay, body, params, whatever is required. Now in the method we are using get because we are fetching the data. Now you can see in the settings we are going to turn on the second setting, that is run this query on application load. It will basically run this API, right. It will hit the API every time our application loads. So yeah, that's it. Now after filling the entire form, right, you can click on the run button. Now the run button will fetch or basically hit the API and fetch the data. Now we can see how the data is looking like. So this is the kind of data that we are getting. Looks good to me. Let's move further. Okay, let's just scroll, make it small. Now here we are on our canvas. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show the entire API data on a table, right. So for that, what I will do, I will just scroll, drag and drop a table on the canvas. Now here you will see the table is already having some kind of pre data, right. So we will just remove it like this. Now we will put some JavaScript expression, right. So in the curlies, we will write queries, my bad, queries dot REST API, right, dot data. Now as soon as I put this, you will see yeah, you will see the data, right. So this is the data that we are getting from the API that we are using, right. Now the question is, what does this query the REST API the data do? Now basically REST API is the API that we are using, REST API 1, right? The data is the data inside this API. Now basically what does this expression do? It binds the data, right, that is being written by the REST API 1, that is our API, to this table component, right? And which basically allows this component to display the specific data, right? Now if you see, we are having something called columns. So let's say I want to like, if you want to edit it, you can edit it. Like I don't want it to be name, I want it to be like username, right? I can do this. So now it's username. Now let's say I don't want ID to be shown, so I'll just delete it. I can just delete it, right? uh, let's say I want to add some style to my table. Let's say I want some border on the table. I can do that. I don't want the content to be wrapped. I can do that. I want the content to be wrapped. Like I can do entire changes of style and properties accordingly, right? So this is how you can integrate REST API as a data source to your toolchat, right? Now you can go to the fun option, which is right over here. Now here, let's turn it off. You can just drag and drop a table, right? And again you can use the same query that we are having, that is queries dot rest api 1 dot data. Now it will show the data, right, in the font format. So basically we are making our application responsive, right? Back to the desktop one. So this thing is done, right? Now we have connected, or we have integrated REST API as a data source with our ToolJet application. Let's just preview it. So you can click on this eye icon to preview this thing. So yeah, this is how the data is looking like in the preview. Whatever changes you want to do, you can do it over here, right? Now let's move further. Let's say I don't want REST API as a data source, I want MongoDB, right? So let's go back to the home, back to home, right? Back to apps. Here we are. Let's go into the data sources again. Let's say we want to use MongoDB this time. Let's add MongoDB. Now here you can see you have to fill this thing out. Now here you have two options. Either you can go with manual connection, in which you should have MongoDB on your system. You have to put the host name, port, database name, username, password, everything. Or you can also use connecting string that we are going to use, right? So you can log into MongoDB platform, create an cluster and use a connection string, right? So I have created it already for you guys, that is right over here. So after doing this, right, after putting the connection string, you have to save the data, and then we will click on test connection. Now what does that test connection do? It verifies if your MongoDB uh, string is correct or not, if it's connected or not, right? So connection is verified. So we have added MongoDB as a data source. Back to the apps part, right? Now we will create another app. Let's name it ToolJet underscore MongoDB. Right? Let's just create an app. Now here, what we need to do, first of all, we are going to add some data source. We are going to use MongoDB as our data source this time. So first of all, you need to select the operation, right? So what we are going to do, we are going to fetch all the users, right? So I will use find many. Now here you need to write the name of your collection. So the name of my collection is users, right? Some filters that you want to give, don't want to give any filters. Option if you want to give, I don't want to give any option. I want to turn on this setting, that's run this query an application role. Now let's just click on run, and let's just wait. Boom, here we are having the data of our users, right? It looks good to me. Let makes it small. Let's just drag and drop a table on the canvas. Again, we are having some pre data on our table, some JS curlies, and now we are going to, so we will use queries dot mongodb1, queries dot mongodb1, and then dot data. I guess that's how we use it. Let's just wait. And here we have the data of all of our users, right? Now here we have column. Let's say I don't want the password to be shown in the table, right? I don't want, uh, let's say I want to show all the things, but password. Now again, if you want to add some style, you can add styles. Let's say I want to make the make the table have some borders. I can do this easily, right? Back to properties. If I want to add properties, I can do that too. Now let's just, if you want, you can make it responsive also, right? Let's click on the preview button to see if we can preview our data or not. Yeah, so we are able to preview our data. You can see there is no password because we have removed it from our table, and we are having all the data, right? So yeah, that's it guys. If you want some filter, you can add it. So that's it, that's in the video. So now you know how you can add data sources with your ToolJet. Thank you.